Hi, I'm Bennie Naudé. This is a short video around self-worth, being feeling worthy. Now, when we as human beings don't feel worthy, we think that we don't deserve happiness, love, kindness, success, or whatever the case might be for you. Now, in my case, I had a very successful client practice. I also traveled the world teaching this EFT tapping technique that if you're not familiar with it, I'm going to share it with you in this video. And after decades of just word of mouth and everybody knowing, or not everybody, a lot of people tapping, finding benefit from it, recently there's been a lot of scientific research on tapping, which shows that the cortisol levels, the stress hormone in the body, almost halves even in a group setting, not even on a one-to-one session. And it changes, it calms down the amygdala in the brain, which is responsible for fight, flight, or freeze response, so high angst and panic and things like that. Anxiety comes from there. So what the tapping does is it calms down the nervous system and it rewires the brain. So self-worth is a function of what you believe about yourself. So as we go through the tapping, we're going to tap in through worthiness, expect some things to come up about painful negative beliefs that you have about yourself and any emotions that come with that. Now, one of the things that's happened to me is I've had a successful client practice, and like I said, I traveled the world to train people in these modalities. And then last year, I got a brain virus, and it wiped my memory. It wiped my memory to the extent I didn't recognize my siblings. I had no idea where I was. I didn't know where I lived. I didn't know what I did for a living. I had no idea what was going on. Now it's a year later, and I've made a lot of progress. But a few months ago, when this conversation started happening with my coaches and friends and family about starting up my business, I really doubted my ability to be able to help people in the way that I used to. So for me, I was thinking, given that my brain function had changed, because it has changed, my memory isn't a completely rebuilt yet. I thought that I wasn't good enough, I wasn't worthy. And that stopped me from actually putting out sessions and promoting myself and finding people that I could help, either with private sessions or trainings. So I then asked somebody that I receive tapping sessions with regularly to help me with that. And slowly, it wasn't a 5 minute process. The thing with tapping, quite often it works very, very quickly. And sometimes it takes a bit of time. If you've had a particular brain pattern for decades or your entire life, it takes more than 2 minutes to shift it sometimes. So it took a bit of time, but what happened with the tapping is slowly my self-worth and belief in myself increased to the point that I offered sessions for people, and the feedback has been really, really positive and affirming. So you see, I went from virtually no self-worth or no self-belief into feeling better about myself, feeling more worthy, then getting good feedback, which again feeds the loop of feeling more worthy. So tapping is a very important part of my daily routines. And then once a week, like I said, I do a session with somebody that I trust to help me with whatever life's giving me. So let's move into the tapping points. First tapping point is on the side of the hand. Please avoid very loud banging. You want to be very gentle with the body. You can tap on either hand. I do a lot of tapping, so this sometimes becomes sensitive. So you might see me swap hands. You don't have to swap. You can tap any side that you want. Next point is on the top of the head, so not the forehead, but the back of the head. Some people prefer two hands. You cover a wider area. Top of the eyebrows, which is pretty much where it says. You want to tap in there, top of the eyebrows. Side of the eyes, quite close to the eyes, not at the back, but here the side of the eyes. Under the eyes. Under the nose. It's called the chin point. It's actually just below the bottom lip. Collarbone point, these collarbones that come down, you want to tap on them. Now, if this is okay for you to do in public, if you're a woman, you might not want to lift your breast and tap under the breast. That makes sense, I suppose, depending on where you live. But if you have privacy and it's okay for you to tap under the breast, then tap under the breasts. Then under the arms. Those are the standard tapping points. Another tapping point that we're going to use in this session is the back of the hand. There's a little groove that runs between the ring finger and the little finger, just there. Again, a reminder, very gentle tapping. Okay, so now take a deep breath in the nose, out the mouth. And start tapping. Now with tapping, we focus on the so-called negative. What we're actually doing, we're focusing on what is, not what we want to be. Positive thinking has a place. The potential downside of positive thinking is we constantly have to repeat it all the time, otherwise we go back to our default programming, which might be for you, you're not good enough and you're not worthy. That's what makes tapping different. Tapping rewires the brain and it calms down the nervous system to open up to the reality and the truth that you are actually worthy and you are good enough, despite what programming you have experienced, maybe since birth. So we tap on the side of the hand and say, sometimes I don't feel worthy. Repeat those words. If you can say them out loud, good. If you don't have privacy, you're welcome to just think them. Sometimes I don't feel worthy. And I choose to be kind and gentle with myself. If you're familiar with tapping, you will know that the standard recipe is I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I've done a lot of experimenting with myself and clients, and this phrase, I choose to be kind and gentle with myself, everybody that I've spoken to find it more useful than the original phrase. It's like it becomes a way of thinking rather than just the abstract, I love and accept myself anyway. You can pick anyone that you like. Sometimes I don't feel worthy. So I choose to be kind and gentle with myself. Sometimes I don't feel worthy. That there's something wrong with me and I don't deserve the good stuff. So I choose to be kind and gentle with myself. So what's happening now? Burping. It's a common sign of release from the nervous system. Burping, sighing, yawning, farting, sweating, crying, all those things. So just notice when they happen. Top of the head. Sometimes I don't feel worthy. Top of the eyebrows. Sometimes I don't feel worthy. Now we're going to go through the points with an open-ended sentence that I'm going to say, and you're going to complete the sentence. Again, if you can say it out loud, say it out loud. Otherwise, just think it. It's okay if you say the same thing on every point. Just notice something new might come up, and sometimes it really surprises people what comes up. So just be open to whatever comes up. Either way, however it comes up for you is the right way for you in this moment. I don't feel worthy because, complete that sentence. Under the eyes, sometimes I don't feel worthy because, could be I'm not good enough, I've done something wrong, I feel too embarrassed, whatever the case might be for you. Sometimes I don't feel worthy because, complete the sentence. Below the bottom lip, sometimes I don't feel worthy because. Collarbone point, sometimes I don't feel worthy because. Under the breast, if that's okay for you, sometimes I don't feel worthy because. Under the arms, I don't feel worthy because. And we're also going to do the inside of the palms, so you can do them both at the same time. Sometimes I don't feel worthy because. Okay, nice deep breath in the nose, out the mouth. On the gamut point on the back of the hand, very gently tap there. Close your eyes and think about this feeling. It's probably very familiar to you, this feeling of not being worthy. Tapping on the points, tuning into that as best you can. Feel what it feels like, and then open your eyes and close them. Open and close and open and close and open. Now very gentle movements with the eyes. You're going to look straight ahead, keep the head still, keep tapping on this point and remember to breathe. You're going to move the eyes up to the top right and down to the bottom left. Keep tuning in up to the top right, down to the bottom left. Keep tuning into the sense of not being worthy, up to the top right, down to the bottom left. Now top left this time, down to the bottom right. Remember to breathe in the nose, tapping on the points up to the top left, down to the bottom right. Feel the unworthiness as best you can, up to the top left, down to the bottom right. Deep breath in the nose, out the mouth. Moving the eyes in a big wide circle, very gentle movements with the eyes. The biggest, widest circle you can make. Remember to tap, remember to breathe. In the nose, out the mouth. 3 times in one direction. Tune into and create or recreate this feeling of not being worthy as best you can. If you're watching this video, you might be very familiar with that feeling. So bring it up as best you can so that we can use the tapping to neutralize that out of the nervous system. And then the opposite direction, very gentle movements with the eyes, big wide circle, all the way around. Keep tapping, keep breathing. Okay, nice deep breath in the nose, out the mouth. Have some water. And stretch the body in any way that you might want to. EFT works very much on the mind-body-heart connection. So from a scientific point of view, of course, body, mind, heart is just something I like thinking about. So we help the nervous system to release and start opening up to new reality, and sometimes stretching helps the body to release this tension. Okay, we're going to do another round, so tapping on the side of your hand. And complete the sentence again. We'll say the sentence and then we'll complete it on every point. Sometimes I don't feel worthy because, complete that sentence. You might say because I'm not good enough, because there's something wrong with me, because I'm not a good enough mother, father, brother, sister, sibling, whatever the case might be. So I choose to be kind and gentle with myself. Sometimes I don't feel worthy because, complete that sentence. And that's why I choose to be kind and gentle with myself. Okay, you're doing the best you can here. So kindness and gentleness. More release. Sometimes I don't feel worthy because, complete that sentence. So I choose to be kind and gentle with myself. Tapping through the points. Sometimes I don't feel worthy because, complete the sentence. As before, it's okay if the same thing comes up on every point, or maybe something different comes up, and allow yourself to be surprised. Sometimes I don't feel worthy because, sometimes I don't feel worthy because, sometimes I don't feel worthy because, under the nose, sometimes I don't feel worthy because, sometimes I don't feel worthy because, under the breast, if that's okay, sometimes I don't feel worthy because, under the arms, sometimes I don't feel worthy because, on the gamut point, the back of the hand, gently tapping there. Close your eyes if that helps you get in tune with this feeling that you might sometimes have, that you are not worthy, that you're not good enough. So just tune into that feeling as best you can. Feel it in the body. Maybe it's a tightness around the heart or the stomach, or pressure on the shoulders, or a weight, or whatever it might be for you. Keep tapping on this point. Breathe in the nose, out the mouth. Close the eyes and open them. Close and open. Close and open. Up to the top left, slowly down to the bottom right. Up to the top left, slowly down to the bottom right. Up to the top left, slowly down to the bottom right. Up to the top right, slowly down to the bottom left. Important you keep tapping, keep breathing, and hold your head still. Up to the top right, down to the bottom left, and up to the top right, down to the bottom left. Deep breath in the nose, out the mouth. Head still, eyes in a big wide circle in one direction. Biggest, widest circle you can make, 3 times in one direction. Tune into that sense of not being worthy, something being wrong with you. And keep tapping and keep breathing. 3 times in one direction, then 3 times the opposite direction. Keep breathing, keep tapping. And one last time. Now there's another part of the gamut procedure which we'll do this time, and that's to hum a tune. You can hum any tune you want. And then count in 3s, starting at 10, 10, 13, 16, 19, 22, 25, and then hum another tune. Deep breath in the nose, out the mouth. And just notice what's happening in the body and the mind. Just check. Close the eyes if that helps you. Be really present. You might feel a tingling. You might feel a little bit different. You might even feel a little bit disorientated as we're doing this. For a lot of you, there will be a lot of new and important information that's come up in even these 2 short rounds. So we're going to tap up, we're going to wrap up with another tapping round, so tapping on the side of the hands again. So sometimes I don't feel worthy, and so I choose to be kind and gentle with myself. Sometimes I don't feel worthy, and that's hard. That's why I choose to be kind and gentle with myself. Sometimes I don't feel worthy, and that's really hard. So I choose to be kind and gentle with myself. Now we're going to tap into possibilities. You again, as before, I'm going to suggest an open-ended sentence on every point. You're going to complete a sentence on every point. If the same thing comes up, you repeat yourself. Something new comes up, you say that. So tapping on the top of the head. If I did feel worthy, then, so you can complete that sentence with I will feel better, I will do better, I will have difficult conversations, I would be happier, I would laugh more, I would go for a swim every day, whatever it is for you. If I did feel worthy, complete that sentence. Top of the eyebrows. If I did feel worthy, then complete the sentence. Side of the eye. If I did feel worthy, then. Under the eyes. If I did feel worthy, what would happen is, if I did feel worthy, it would feel like if I felt worthy, that would mean all the benefits of feeling worthy. I would love for this unworthiness to heal. Maybe I've had it for long enough now and I deserve something better than that. Okay, nice deep breath in the nose, out the mouth. Close your eyes if that helps you to become present, and just check what's happening inside the mind and the body. So what I'm experiencing, and some of you might experience the same, is like an openness and a settling. Now for some of you, what might have come up in the session is stuff that you didn't know about or forgot about or have been finding difficult to deal with. If that's the case, either go Google and find tapping, go to my website bennienaudé.com, or watch this video again and tap through whatever's getting in the way if you're feeling worthy. Because it doesn't matter where you are and who you are. In my book, everybody is worthy enough to deserve good things happening to them, to be treated with kindness and respect and love, and also to treat themselves that way. That's it. I'd love to hear from you. If you did this video, so you email me bennie@bennienaudé.com, BENNIE at BENNIENAUDE.com. Would love to hear from you. Until next time, all the best.